It's the Pod in the City weekly roundup. I'm John.
And I'm Amanda. After decades of sidestepping cancellation from repeated bad behavior, has Patti Lupone finally reached a point where she wishes people would take her picture?
The American Music Awards returned after a 2-year hiatus, hosted by the eternally humble Jennifer Lopez. The resulting quote-unquote ceremony turned out just about as expected.
And two of my favorite reality shows blurred lines between worlds as Catelynn Baltierra gets publicly catfished. It's no banana pick, but equally as embarrassing.
Oh, baby, all this and so much more on this week's episode of the Pod in the City Weekly Roundup! Guys,
Hello.
I was just charging up and I could feel the collective energy of the chat. Thank you. Hey guys. Hey Sarah. Hey Julie. Now Julie says, "Ooh, I can't wait to hear about Drag Race." LOL. Are we being sarcastic? Or
it's kind of a mess. You bring in these old divas and it's just a different world. It's a different drag world.
Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia is serving me exactly what I need.
Guys, a lot happened this week. I'm going to make a really quick disclaimer. I have 8 dogs here right now. I'm doing my best. In the summer, I'm going to have a hired help to take care of them while I do live. But right now, you're all dealing with it. Here's what we're going to talk about today.
So guys, Amanda has gone from hotel for dogs. She's now going to have a concierge at her hotel. Y'all.
I do. I have an employee. And it's my cousin. Patti Lupone stepped in it this week. We'll see how long it takes for her
to get shut the hell up.
And Baltierra got fully catfished. John doesn't know anything about it. I can't wait to tell you about this. The AMAs happened, Drag Race. Jojo Siwa flew to freaking Britain to see her boyfriend, and we're on a countdown here too. Huh?
He came here too. Oh God,
man, I'm sorry. To get my heart broken, and a bunch of other stuff. And that's it. So let's get into some housekeeping, shall we?
Yay! I do want to say, hey, Florida Stanley. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Heather. Hey, Mandisha. Wow. We've missed you the past few weeks. Sarah. Hey, babe. I think I already said hi. Julie says we both look cute today. I mean, thanks, babe. And Jeshua. What's up, babe? All right. So the top story, obvi, is that this Friday we are starting our live streams. Crap.
Yeah. So get here.
I'm trying to take that down so you can read this.
God, okay, sorry.
It says Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Amanda doesn't love that. She'd rather it be noon MST, but 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the same time as this, live Friday. So will you guys be here? Write in the comments right now if you will be here on Friday.
It's going to be hilarious. Just watch even if you've never seen the show, you don't need to know anything. It's like
no. And really this live will be like, hey Amanda, what's up? And then we'll just be like talking and it'll be
shit. Yeah.
That's it.
And then this week we did Pillow Talk, right?
Yes, that was on our Patreon. Make sure you check it out. Patreon.com/podandthecity. Pillow Talk. It was really fun. We took like a quiz on our sex personalities.
Yeah, that was interesting. It was definitely made the streets.
We also had a really fun time. I'm actually being honest. Ranking season 3 of Sex and the City because Amanda and I's each of our is it? No, yeah, Sarah.
That is correct. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Central is an hour ahead of me, and then Eastern. So you'll go in and you'll change that. Thank you, Sarah.
Motherfucker.
Thank you. We should have just kept it at noon for
shit.
Anyway, we also did. This is already up on YouTube. It posted an hour ago, and it's the Sex and the City. We ranked season 3. This one was hard. A lot of Sophie's choices in there, but both of our favorite episodes of all time are in this season. So wait till you see what the top 5 are. Great.
Sarah, thank you for informing me, but I am now in a downward spiral.
You're good. I'm holding a dog right now, so if you could like actually handle everything.
Oh, great. All right, so make sure you guys check that stuff out, subscribe, hit like. Also, if you could share it, especially our loyals, babe, it would be great. Hit share, copy link, do that stuff to help push us out. And we're gonna kind of work on our drop schedule of things. We're like rumbling ideas around.
Yeah, either way, we might space it out over the course of 3 days, so it's not just a big dump on one day.
We do have a request to see the dog in the lap. Can we see it?
I'm not messing with. John watched me run around like a fucking
up until 5 seconds before we hit go live. There were dogs barking, jumping on each other, running around in the background. So, yeah.
I'm not fucking with it. If a dog jumps up on that one just jumped up on the couch. This is the
Pretend that this says 2 p.m. and be there, guys, on Friday. I can't wait.
Great. Let's get into some hot topics. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get it while it's hot.
Topics. Thank you, Aaron, because Amanda was like not feeling herself. And I was like, you should always feel yourself.
I'm on my period. Me and Jody both had like a 14-day cycle and then went right back on a heavy flow. So together, we're doing it together, the two of us. Monday, we were both in horrible moods. Okay.
All righty. Well, Patti Lupone, who we have... I think this is a hard day because I look up to Patti as a performer on Broadway. I'm like, oh my God, I love her.
I actually look up to her personality-wise, too. I kind of love that. I think she's fierce, that she stands up for herself and that she won't get overshipped and she holds grudges. This one is a little too far.
This is not a grudge. I think that Patti needs to look inward. I think a lot of people need to recognize the microaggressions that they're putting out there.
I don't mean that grudge, by the way. I mean the Angela Lloyd Webber Sunset Boulevard grudge.
No, I know.
For the rest of my life, too.
Okay, though. Okay. I think there has to hit a point where you just like go to therapy a little bit, Patti, because like for me, trust me, I had a way worse thing. Go listen to our Patreons. I'm not even going to get into it. I had a way worse thing happen to me than Andrew Lloyd Webber giving someone else my part. And I've used therapy and I've been able to get through it. So you can too, Patti. Go to therapy.
And also, like, it's not like her career was over. Like, she literally went on to do several.
She's still one of the most famous Broadway performers in history.
And also, not to say she wasn't appropriate for that role anyway. She was too young in the first place to play Norma Desmond. So accurate.
Who even cares? So tell us what happened this week, because people rightfully are being like, Patti, you're done. And let's get to
everyone, it. Even Sweaty Oracle's done with her. Everyone's over. The guy that does all the impressions of her is over her.
I was going to say Sean McManus, who does the Patti impression, has come out and been like, I'm disgusted, honestly, here.
It's not great. Here's a little peek behind the curtain. Me and Jody recorded yesterday when I kind of had just skimmed the article. And I don't edit shit, but I went in afterward and I edited out the part where I was talking about it because I forgot that that Hell's Kitchen shit happened at the end. Hi.
Okay, so guys, for context, if you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, Patti Lupone had an article in the New Yorker where she has some strong opinions, which she's been allowed to have for a very long time. And they were regarding Audra McDonald and a woman in Hell's Kitchen who Patti came out saying that the show Hell's Kitchen, which is an Alicia Keys like jukebox musical situation, was too loud in the theater next to her.
She was in a show that was sharing a wall with them. And she's like made a comment, like a street interview saying like, they're too damn. No, that's what she was. She was signing an autograph.
Someone wanted her to holding sign a Hell's
Kitchen program. And she was like, that show is too damn loud. And it does come across as a bit of a microaggression because it's a lot of hip hop music and it's a lot of Black people in the cast. So that first wasn't great. But then in this article, which I read, my point that I was making yesterday was this is kind of how Patti always was. None of this information was new. Her book, she's equally as cunty in her book, which I love. It's a great book.
I think she is too, but it's not like this.
Okay, so at the end of the article, like she was talking about hockey for a while. She talked about Kevin Kline. Like I love that shit. Talking about how much she hates Angela Lloyd Webber. She won't get over it. Then we get to the last section where they're asking her about the Hell's Kitchen thing and how Keisha, what's her name? Keisha
Lewis, I think.
Lewis came out saying, "Oh no, that was really shitty that Patti said that." And Patti's like, "Well, whatever, bitch. Like we're not," because Keisha had called her like as from one Broadway veteran to another. And Patti's like, "I've been in this many shows and you've only been in this many, so take a seat." So that was like awful. Then she got asked about Audra McDonald, and apparently
but the piece too that people are pulling out of there is that she called her a bitch, which she probably wouldn't have called her like.
She called Glenn Close a bitch in the article too. Same.
Did she say it the same way?
Yes, she said it the exact same way. I will say that I am not defending this at all. But
I'm building context
because she said that in that, and I remember hearing about this on Lady Watch. Her and Glenn Close saw each other at a benefit, and Glenn came up to her and said, "I had nothing to do with it." And Patti Lupone, in her head, in the article, she said, "In my head, I was thinking, yeah, right, bitch." And that's the same thing she said about Keisha Lewis too. Like, okay, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, thing. Not defending it though. Then she has a long interview with Audra McDonald, and she said that she was bad in Gypsy. She didn't want to answer if she thought she was good in Gypsy. Patti had also been in Gypsy, and I actually didn't think she was that good in it. I saw it.
You didn't think that Patti was good in Gypsy?
No. Bette Midler is my Mama Rose. Sorry, Patti was.
Oh, I love Bette Midler, but I saw Patti in Gypsy twice, and I thought she was great. I think that a lot of people like Patti or whatever, the older generation, even the younger generation, uninformed people need to sometimes reel it in, think about what you're saying, think about how your words hold meaning, and what place of power you're in because of the color of your skin, Patti, compared to others. So check your privilege, bitch.
Yeah, she like went to like Juilliard. She's like grew up rich too. That's the other thing is like you started on second base at the very least.
Also, Patti has that bitterness in her that like seems to come out in people who may look like Patti because they feel that other people have gotten further than they should deserve to because of that. You guys get what I'm alluding to, right?
I mean, for the most part, I've always admired the fact that she speaks her mind and that she is kind of old school and she'll like say, and
there are certain things that's fine about being a bitch about a person taking your picture in the audience, fine, but like
even though that person was hired by the show.
Also at the same time, again, Patti, you were supposed to be in Sunset Boulevard 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
you still originated the role.
Literally, if they were like, "Oh, what do you think about Sunset Boulevard?" I'd be like, "You know what? The new revival is really cool. They're doing amazing."
She did say that though. She said she
thought then stop.
So she goes back and forth.
But you know what? Stop.
My prediction is that she will come back from this though.
I don't know because people are I have never seen her be dragged the way she is being dragged.
I mean, she really is.
In fact, Time magazine gave the ultimate drag here, literally releasing the cover of Audra saying Broadway's greatest.
The day after all that shit went down. Because this happened on Monday.
Now, separately, I am not co-signing anything that Patti is saying here. I think she needs to take a step back, shut the F up, know who you are in the situation. I have seen a video. Amanda and I watched a video of Audra.
Yes. All that said, it's not great.
It's not my personal preference. So I don't. Now, Montego Glover is going to be taking over for a chunk of time, and I think I might like that. I just don't know that the thing that's okay, deep dive of Broadwayness, I guess, if you guys care. The thing about what I'm not understanding about the way that Audra is playing Mama Rose, is that she's not like trying to change her voice to be a little more like pointed or something.
The vibrato is wide.
It's just like
wide.
It's not. I'm confused. Anyway,
the show is written for Ethel Merman. It's just, sorry. I think it's really bad. But that said, she's still a fucking diva star, and she doesn't treat people badly. So
she's amazing. She is
not great as Mama Rosa.
There is no denying that Audra McDonald is a Broadway legend, and I gotta be honest, probably Patti. I'm sorry to say it, but if people are gonna put like a Hall of Fame, I think she's probably gonna be ranked higher than you.
She has the most Tony Awards in history. And you have
someone did a thing where it was like, Patti Lupone, 28 shows, 8 nominations, 3 wins, and then it was like Audra McDonald, 18 shows, 12 nominations, 8 wins or something. And I was like,
yeah. So there you go. All right. What's this?
A bit of brevity here. Kermit the Frog. You guys know I love the Muppets. I love all of that. Maybe you don't know, but Amanda hates the Muppets.
I don't hate the Muppets. They freak me out. The show freaks me out.
One of my favorite things I ever did was go see a marionette show in LA. And I'm like dying to go back because this summer they're doing one about a train. The one I went to was a Halloween one. Anyway, Bob Baker's Marionette Theater. Check it out. The Muppets. Okay, what are some of these? Tell me what are people saying in the comments about Pat? Amanda, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
A diva acting like a diva. Patty's gonna patty. Wendy wants to know, but does a 76-year-old saying a show was loud automatically equate to racism? It's not just that. It's like all the little things put together.
I think that no, it doesn't. But if that was a standalone action.
Exactly. It's kind of a, she's really sidestepped the shit for a lot of her life. And I think it's all kind of coming back to her.
And sometimes it's okay to say, if she said that and said it was loud, and then people came to her and said, hey, we feel a way about that. It's okay to also be like, oh, oops. Like I shouldn't have, it's okay to say that. You don't have to stand 10 toes down in everything.
She's not going to do that. Yeah. She's not going to care.
The world does move forward. We should evolve as people to where maybe we recognize that we should just be more conscious of the feelings of others as we are over here bashing people. But the Frog gave the commencement speech, and I think it was the University of Maryland, Jim Henson's alma mater. And Kermit is... I just love him so much. And then, though I don't love the new voice actor for Kermit.
I was just going to say.
He's not my favorite, gotta say. He's not giving full Kermit energy to me. But he led them all singing Rainbow Connection. And he talked about how Jim Henson was all about, being yourself, being an individual. And I just... especially with the time that we're in, at least especially in the United States, something like this is it gives us a breath of fresh air to realize that not everyone is evil. Kermit gave a commencement. If Kermit gave the commencement speech at my college, I would
lose it.
Shit myself. I would be screaming.
There's a Muppet exhibit at the University of Maryland Museum. I saw the original Kermit. Yeah, there's also a Muppet exhibit. I think it's free, long standing now, at the Museum of Modern Art in Astoria in New York. And that's a great museum. If you ever go to New York, guys, go to Astoria. It's 10-minute bus or subway ride, and the Museum of Modern Art has so many cool exhibits. It's amazing. Check that out. Have you ever been to
the Muppet Museum?
No, the Museum of Modern Art.
Oh yeah.
Not modern art. The Museum of the Moving Image. In Astoria.
I don't.
If you ever go back to New York, you should go to that. It's amazing. It's $10 to get in. Okay. Anyway.
Florida Stanley got to work with Super Grover. Love Grover and Gonzo Grover's my favorite Sesame Street. Gonzo is my favorite Muppet because in Muppets Go to Space, which is not necessarily great. We do find out that Gonzo is an alien species who technically is non-binary.
Oh, yeah, like I buy that. I actually did a stint in New York as Super Grover.
That's what I thought Florida Stanley was I thought Florida Stanley here was referencing Amanda's. Miss Piggy energy is needed. Agree. Kermit's reheating his nachos. That's hilarious. And then if Kermit gave my commencement speech, I would have made something of myself. That's the problem. If Kermit would have given mine, I wouldn't be doing a live on YouTube.
Yeah. All right.
This is making something of ourselves, right? Right, guys? Yeah. Right? Right?
All right. What are we doing? Are we moving on to the big news of the week? For me, at least.
Tell me about what happened to Catelynn. First of all, guys, taking this outfit. I was scrolling on Facebook when I accidentally clicked, I don't realize I'm doing it because I was on Marketplace and then I click back in and I saw a post on the We Love to Hate group, guys, Amanda's other podcast, We Love to Hate Everything. And it had this photo of Catelynn at the VMA Awards.
Yeah, this is like very famous. Yeah, everyone makes fun of it. I mean, I would be. This might be as embarrassing as that banana picture that Mary that got released from Mary.
In God's
This is so embarrassing. I don't know. It's so bad. You can't see the shoes, but she's also wearing like really tall heels, and it's just really bad. But anyway,
if she didn't have the pants, this could possibly be saved. Possibly, right? The pants
are really bad. And you can also tell that there's camel toe going on up there.
The pants are insane and they don't match. What are they like, what are we?
It's
what's
bad.
It going with?
And also her husband is like the gayest guy ever. I can't believe he let her walk out of, like, there's no way that he like was okay with this.
I did look up what year this was, and I think it is 2017. So that's
okay. What year would this be appropriate for though?
None. It's so butt ugly, but like if she wore it this year, especially, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
It's bad. But okay, so what do you know about Catelynn and Tyler?
I know that Catelynn and Tyler were on Teen Mom. They gave up their daughter, but then they now are being, in my opinion, a bit too much, whining about that the adopted parents won't let them see their daughter and exploit her for the, I mean, interesting. And then
they finally like cut her off completely.
Her man Tyler is has been allegedly like into men, and he has an OnlyFans now.
Yeah.
And I saw a video where someone was talking about his boyfriend that he goes and stays with in some.
That was like that was during the hiatus when Amber was in prison in like 2012. So it's
that long ago?
I feel like they do have an arrangement where he's allowed to go fuck guys. Because again, like being bi is a little more accepted now. But the whole season and the whole series, really, Johnny, come here. This dog. This whole season has culminated into finally at the end, Dr. Drew being like, I talked to Brandon and Teresa and it's done. You can't contact them anymore. And they're like, okay, no, we won't. Like, absolutely, we get it. And Dr. Drew's like, we need a reset. You guys are doing too much. You're pushing it, all that. So that's how the whole season ended. Then it came out on Tuesday that Catelynn has been catfished. Now, you might think she got catfished by like a guy out there. She's cheating on Tyler. No, it's way worse than that. She got catfished by a person pretending to be a friend of Carly. And they had a long texting back and forth of Catelynn being like, I'll set up a fake email account and I'll send Carly pictures. And like it went back and
what? That's actually a million times worse than her just getting with a dude. I thought it was going to be that she was just getting with a dude. What? No. She's basically trying to like backdoor get in contact with her daughter. And yes, Wendy's front yard. Well, no, you gave her up and still got a TV show. Thank you. I'm so tired of these two. So, okay. So then how'd they find out?
I don't know. Well, I think the girl, whoever was the catfish, released the text and like then somebody went and like there was like these do match the numbers. I mean, obviously, I guess you could pretty much fake anything nowadays, but I buy it. And like in the text, it's like Catelynn being like, well, I talked to, because she says, I talked to one of Carly's other friends, and she says she doesn't have a friend named Jenna or whatever. So like that also implies that she's also been out like scouting around. And she's like, I would love to show up and like watch her. Oh, and the person's like, you should show up to church because she sings at church, Carly. And Catelynn goes, yeah, me and Tyler have been considering that. And I'm like, oh my God, girl. Also, she has 3 other daughters.
I'll just say,
this is a trauma. Like she cannot get past.
I'm gonna just say,
yeah.
I live in a family of there is adoption in my family. I don't really know. Like, so I don't necessarily know my birth grandparents, etc., from one side of my family. But I'll just tell you, as a person who is away from those birth people, I don't want you in my life. I'm not seeking you out. So Catelynn and Tyler, just from someone who is maybe on the other side of it, she probably doesn't want anything to do with you.
Oh, this is so bad. It's
sorry.
Like, and this is like a 35-year-old woman now, like corresponding with like at least one team.
Awful.
But she did imply, I asked one of Carly's other friends, and she says she doesn't know you. So she's obviously doing this.
The problem is they need a restraining order or something at this point. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. So too bad for Catelynn. Let's see how it goes.
Is that Elizabeth Taylor on your lap?
It does look like Elizabeth Taylor. This is Cooley. I don't even know if it's a boy or a girl. Oh, it's a girl.
Cooley?
Yeah, they like literally they've never been here before. So it's a lot.
Oh my God, they're so sweet.
It does look like Elizabeth Taylor. Very sweet.
Oh, okay, great. Let's move on. Yes?
Yeah.
To the top story, the American Music Awards. Good Lord. Guys, I didn't really have this on my radar. They didn't do it last year. I do remember, though, in previous years, J-Lo did host, I guess, and she also did this opening number. Well, she did it again, y'all. And I think that J-Lo needs to take a few seats because in those past 2 years, people have, like, they weren't already liking her and they really aren't liking you now. And in fact, so much that didn't you cancel your entire tour like last year?
Oh, I forgot that was happening. Wow.
Pretty sure she did like 2 to 3 nights and then was like, no one's coming to this. So she decided to open with her numbers. She's saying, what's that song? It's like, I want to dance and love and dance again. It's, anyway, God. Sometimes J-Lo music is fine for me. It's fine.
Didn't she do a mashup of a bunch of the current songs these days?
But she started with her own song, okay? And she sang it. Please look at the backdrop of this photo.
It's like a spider. Oh, because she's going to be because of the Spider Woman. Is that why?
I don't think that's what they were going for, babe.
Well, in this picture,
but she is doing Kiss of the Spider Woman, and that could bring me back on her. That could bring me back on J-Lo because I think she could kill that. Because from my perspective, she's just performing in the thing, right? She doesn't have to sing live. She just dances to numbers.
Also, it was written for Cheetah Rivera, who I don't think has like that big of a range, so she could probably sing it.
That's what I think. Anyway, so she also sang into this triangle thing, and all I know is just look at this face, look at this ending. Not one single damn J-Lo song needs all this. So girl, take several seats. And then, guys, she tortured us with a 20-minute like
what the hell?
First of all, she didn't realize, like, I think that people really thought that the space launch, the Katy Perry space launch was going to like be a revolution because there's a lot of people basing things on like she's giving space to me here. I think she's supposed to be, I don't know what she's doing. But she did a whole medley of all the popular songs. And this whole award show was a shit show in general, because basically no celebrities were there. I mean, there were some, but like the performances were pre-recorded. The winners of the awards were accepting the awards on like pre-recorded video call messages. It'd be like someone holding the Weeknd's holding his phone up, being like, hey, thank you guys so much for this award. It means a lot to me. Girl.
I saw that Billie Eilish won a bunch of stuff and Beyonce won a couple of things, and Chappell Roan didn't win anything, so I don't really care.
People were pissed because they thought that Taylor Swift was going to drop Reputation, Taylor's version, and then she didn't. She wasn't even there, I guess. All I know is I don't hate Taylor Swift, but her fans make me want to hate her.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
guys, we forgot to say this. Right now, we're doing a 50% off Patreon promotion. we
are until June 5th to promote the coming back of Sex and the City, or just like that.
You can get your first month 50% off. Patreon.com/podinthecity. Promo code AJLT. Check her out. Drag Race, baby. Now, I will say, Drag Race All-Stars 10. I'm liking it a lot. I like the broken up groups because it doesn't feel like I have time to get bored of the first of anyone here. I'm like, cool. It's able to spread the wins around. You're able to get... One thing I realized is in previous All-Star seasons, very often you would have someone or possibly two people lip syncing like every week because they would always be in the top. And in this format, you're constantly getting different people lip syncing. You get multiple things. And really, this was the introduction of the pink bracket, like the second bracket. Here are the queens. I thought we could go through them. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I like this bracket a lot more than the first one.
Oh, really? See, I thought this one was maybe just because of the challenge. I was not really that impressed by many people's outfits. So I thought the first group came off as stronger, but I like the people in this group.
Julie says, love seeing Nicole. Oh, by the way, here, Wendy says, if you hate Taylor, watch Katya and Violet trashing her fashion. Oh, I will.
I've seen it.
Nicole Paige Brooks, I mean, everyone made fun of her. Like, she was there. She was the queen that everyone roasted for years.
They did. She was the punching bag of her season.
Of several seasons. Like, it was a reference. Everyone made fun of her. But she was, I mean, her and Phoenix from the first group were the true like geriatric queens from like old school Drag Race, and Nicole Paige Brooks made a way bigger splash than Phoenix did in her.
Nicole Paige Brooks is confidently herself, and that is what thrives on Drag Race. If you're able to go in there,
it was nice to see. I had forgotten that she did the cherry pies. We got some cherry pies. I forgot that was like her thing from season 2.
Get your cherry pie gift certificates.
Yeah.
Gabriel says Nicole's so naturally funny. She is. And you know,
see it on her season.
You know, also another reason, in more recent seasons, all they do is cast people who are like 25 years old and younger. Nicole's probably 50, nearly 50, right? Or
47, I think. 46 or 47.
So she's had time to cook. She's had 20 years on Georges. Georges is 24. So she's 22 years older than Georges. She has references. She has confidence. And she's my number one obsession from this bracket, hardcore. So here are the people on it. We have Lydia B. Collins. I like her a lot. Spoiler alert, she was in the top 2 of episode 1, which is fun because all the other girls in the workroom were like, we don't even know who you are. And okay, go for it. And she ended up killing it. Love her. Then we have Carrie Colby, who surprisingly, her outfit, she almost made a recreation of the outfit that got her like nearly sent home the last time. So I'm not sure why you did that, Carrie. What was the thought process there, sweetie?
And she's the drag daughter of Sasha Colby, who I only know, who most people, who most ignorant people only know because of Chappell Roan. So that's how I know.
Oh. Okay. Mistress Isabel. Mistress Isabel.
Because she got the reference. I'm your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen.
And
she said it on the Tonight Show. Okay, this one I don't. Mistress Isabella Brooks. I don't know her, but I do like her. I've never seen.
Oh, she wants to be drama and et cetera, for sure. Georges, which fine. I feel like in this situation, Georges is only back this season because they needed someone dropped out or like they needed
that is what I saw too. Somebody dropped out and it was like she's on my shoulder.
And for that, I'll just say, okay, George's is fun enough. And I think her promo look here is, girl, if I looked like, oh my God, I want to look like this for one day and go walk down the street and just, maybe I don't. And Tina Burner, who she's definitely turned around from her first season. I think her impression will still be better. I still, though, just there's something about her that I don't know what it is. And Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. I was even on board with her runway look. I was like, whatever. I mean, it was a bathing suit with like stars glued onto it, but I didn't care because she is so funny.
Yeah, she was the worst on the runway for sure. But like, let's keep her around, please, because she is a mother.
In the Untucked, they almost set her off. She almost got there because they were like, oh yeah, who do you guys think did the worst or whatever? And she's like, they kept saying her and she's like, yeah, just keep going. I mean, I know, bitch, like what the hell? Like, so I'm like, I love her. Speaking of, okay, guys, are you watching Drag Race? Let me know in the comments. Also, please tell me you're going to be watching And Just Like That starting tomorrow.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
The new episode drops, the first season episode drops like tomorrow on HBO. And then we're going to be live on Friday doing our like first reactions. But they've been doing a hard press tour and I just wanted to put up this photo. Justine, hey girl.
Justine. The heat. Is it hot? I feel fine. I haven't had time to even like let myself feel anything yet. There's too many dogs here. I'm seeing Sweeney Todd with Justine on Friday. It's gonna be yeah.
Do you know any of the anyway? Okay, I want to hear. We'll hear about that on the Patreon.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Talk about
that's the kind of riveting stuff we talk about on our Patreon. Patreon.com/PodcastCity. They did the red carpet premiere, whatever. Not liking Cynthia's outfit, and what curse does someone have on Ari Nicole Parker? This is the most gorgeous woman in the fucking world.
Truly, the most beautiful woman, like the most beautiful face.
And
Top
she
5
did. I don't know what is going on. And I thought this was a problem of And Just Like That. I thought this was And Just Like That doing it. I think she needs a better hair stylist. Whoever is providing her these hair units needs to be put in jail expeditiously. They're so ugly. They're so bad. This woman is gorgeous. Guys, I don't understand.
She should just like shave her head, I feel they keep giving her bangs. I'm like, don't cover her face. Just let her walk around bald.
This is so ugly. Marion, hey babe.
Justine says it's not going to be the same without Shay. We know.
I know. But we did talk on our episode of Sex and the City this week about this article that came out in Entertainment Weekly where it goes over the guests that are, oh shit. You know who one of the guests of this season is?
Patti Lupone. Well, that's why she did. That's why the interviewer went and met her while she was doing ADR for And Just Like That. And so the article started out with her being like, thanks, boys. It was a pleasure being part of it. And then it just like goes all the way down to, I hate Black people.
She's playing Giuseppe's mother.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talked about shit. Oh, damn. We might need to make like a little bumper before that video that says we do not condone the views and Patti Lupone. Because in that video, we're like, we love her. She's the best.
I mean, we didn't know. I mean, except we did.
Bad timing, y'all. Bad timing. Anyway, Ari Nicole Parker, you are so And what is going on with the hair? It's so bad. It's the color even here is just, what the hell? You look like you're like gonna be in anyway. God, are you trying to make me have a heart attack? Like, I am already heightened and you're gonna throw this on the screen?
Jojo Siwa and Chris Hughes are continuing their performative fucking relationship for all of us.
This is the most dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, it's just, honestly, it's like watching a ticking clock of her getting her heart. I mean, broken like she's never got, like broken like she's never been.
Do you think she's not just playing along here?
No, I think she's into it.
I think he's playing along then. Right?
I think he is not. I think he is like not into it at all. I think he's like, great, I get to get laid. But like, I think
I don't think they're having sex.
Oh, they are. They went in an interview together. And they're like, oh, did you have a little fun in the hotel? And he's like, yeah, this morning, actually. Well, every morning. And then they like,
they're lying. They're lying.
I don't think they are. Why wouldn't they fuck? Why wouldn't they? I buy that she is so madly in love with him, and he is going to like ruin her. The
thing I saw of them was like they're opening Epic Universe in Florida, like the new Universal Studios park, which, oh my God, I want to go to. Universal Studios, somehow, if you're watching, could you fly me out there? I'll do some. I'll make a promotional video for our 100 views we got.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's being interviewed and he's sitting off to the side, like, and they're like, so what are you and your boyfriend? And he pans over to him, like sitting in the background. And I'm just like, oh my God, I hate this. I actually think this is doing a disservice to the world. And I'm going to sound conspiracy theoristy here for a second. Possibly this has to do with the election of Donald Trump. Just saying.
Oh, all right.
Love Hotel. Guys, I hate Love Hotel. It's so dumb and so bad. Like, I don't hate it, but I hate it. And I don't hate it enough to where it's like, haha, this is hilarious. It's just like, I don't like the structure. First of all, I think the ultimate issue here is the structure. The way that they did it was they only introduced like 6. I think at the beginning they introduced 8 men. And each of the women almost immediately kind of paired up with one guy, or they were going between 2 guys. Then they voted out guys like after 2 days. And then each woman had one guy that they kind of moved forward with. And then they brought in new guys to try and like, I guess maybe pull them away. But none of them have really like been pulled away very much. And it just in general is like, are these women going to continue these relationships at all? What'd you say?
Oh, of course not. As a dog bark.
Mandisha is my camera woman / tech support to fly out to Universal if they could handle that for us. That'd be great. Thanks. Rebecca, Luann should have all the men. She should host next year. She should. Who do you guys think should be on the next Love Hotel that would actually be good? I don't think these women are right for this. I don't look at any of them as relationship types. So
yeah, I don't know that many housewives. I know Salt Lake City.
So who could be on from Salt Lake? None of them are Heather Gay, I guess.
Heather Gay.
But she will be on probably next season. I can almost guarantee it. And it'll be a lot about just predicting, because you maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to sound too hard on her.
I don't watch the show anymore, so.
I think with Heather Gay, you can fix everything on the outside, but you also need to like look inward of like, just because you fix the outside doesn't mean you're going to be happy. The Valley, guys, this shit's trudging along. I think the one thing that we're pulling out is that Janet is the ultimate villain, and she is awful because a couple things I would love to see Sonia and Dorinda on this if they could control their drinking while they're there. Not to be rude, but the Valley, One thing that I'm liking is that on Watch What Happens Live this week, they had Janet and her husband go on, and all of the polls that they did were like not in Janet's favor at all. It was like, who do you think is the biggest pot stirrer, Janet or Kristen? And it was like Janet got like 93% of the vote.
Yeah, and all the interviews, like they were interviewing her husband, like, why do you think everyone hates Janet? He's like, oh no, I mean, I think she's great. It's like you can't even like defend her.
They just released like the coming up the rest of this season on the Valley. And the entire thing is Janet being an evil bitch to everyone, and them all being like, you need to watch what you're like. Nia even. See, I'm totally I'm on Nia's side in the situation with Nia and Danny and whatever. I do think Janet has a point in saying that maybe Danny does drink too much, and it was weird that he went into a pantry, closed the door, and glugged out of a bottle of tequila. That is slightly.
That, you know what though? That's what alcoholics do, and I would be fucking pissed and mortified if somebody brought that up. Like, I would never talk to them again.
Well, you know what's wrong is that Janet outed that Nia went to Al-Anon, which, guys, if you don't know what that is, that is for people who are not dealing with, but they're with someone who is an alcoholic or is dealing with that. And you know what part of that is? Anonymous. You're not supposed to say, like, Janet is an evil twat, and it's feeling like it's more and more real that she moved to LA to try and get on the show.
Clearly did. She's on early episodes of VPR. I remember like seeing her.
Though I think Janet might be a little sad because reporting the Valley is facing a big cash shakeup or a potential pause ahead of season 3 amid low ratings.
Yikes. It's because Jax is not on the show. Like I think I said this to you. Jax is the most interesting part of that show, but he's so abysmally bad now that like I truly don't want to watch him.
Okay, thank you. Because I was gonna say, I think ultimately it's that people who watch Vanderpump Rules or the audience that you're wanting for this show don't want to just watch women be treated like shit by men over and over. They don't want to watch that. Who wants to watch Brittany be abused by Jack?
And then just him coming back. It's the fact that now in the after show, he's now been out of rehab and he's clearly the exact same person. So it's like watching Cody Brown on on the tell-alls now a year out from Garrison's passing, and Cody's like somehow worse. So it's like you had this one big chance to maybe come back as a better person and you're doubling down.
Some people use either their like enlightenment, they use it as a weapon. So like he can be like, I've been to rehab, I've done the work and whatever, but not actually do anything for it.
He's also a self-admitted sociopath. Like he really is, and he knows it. So like, what does a person do at that point?
I do still have the same opinion that I will probably always have, is like with someone like Brittany, you had years of television to watch what this man was and is. So, and like, that's probably the wrong take. I think some people probably would find that offensive, that I'm not victim shaming.
I think everyone, no, I would say everyone. But I mean, speaking of Brittany, though, Brittany was on Give Them Lala pod, which I don't subscribe to that. I subscribe to all of the Vanderpump podcasts after I did my first watch of VPR. And then I listened to all of their episodes that aired the week of Scandival, because like it was like a juice fest. But then I deleted all of them. But Brittany is on Give Them Lala this week, and it was such a good interview. Like I really would recommend anyone to listen to it. Brittany is so likable, so fun. She's like funny, like witty funny. Like one point Lala's like, so was it hard to like sleep with someone after so long with just Jax? And Brittany's like, no. She's just very, very funny and charming and putting it all out there. And she's like, it was so bad for so many years with Jax. Like it was so nice to have sex with someone who could have sex. I was like, tell me the tea. She was great. She talks a lot about autism awareness, which I think is important. Lala, the whole time is wearing these like sunglasses, but then I remember that she just got diagnosed with like something that was on the side of her eye got diagnosed as pre-cancer. So it's like pretty scary. So I think that she got it like removed, and so she has to wear shades all the time. Hello?
I'm just gonna say no comment because I'm just gonna sound like such a hater.
You don't like Lala. I love Lala.
I don't like Lala, and for me, I know I have an annoying voice. I can have an annoying laugh. I can have all of that, but for me, Britney's laugh and voice, especially her laugh, have become so grating to me. Like when she was on Watch What Happens Live, I had to stop watching the episode, because she's like, whatever, like every 2 seconds. And I'm just like, you're driving
this season on the violin. It doesn't really bug me, but now I'll probably notice it. I never noticed the laugh before, but I'm sure I will. Okay, big news this week. Pam Anderson has been walking around. I mean, how brave, and I mean the shit she gets for this. She's been daring to walk around without makeup on for a couple years. It's like not really that big a fucking deal. She got blasted for this Met look. I mean, it's not the best. It's weird, but like people just drag her down, and it's like she looks fine. Like this is a picture of her with no makeup on.
She's gorgeous.
Can you imagine being like a 60-year-old man on like Tinder and this woman shows up for your date?
Probably not, because the unfortunate thing is most like 60-year-old straight men think that like 30-year-olds want them. So she'd be too old.
Yeah, that is true.
But she's a senior citizen.
Also, I don't think she's even interested. But I guess the day after Tommy Lee announced his divorce, what a shocker, Pam decided to just randomly like do this. It was like, hey. So also, I'm glad she did this though, because she's basically saying, for anyone who's just listening, she put out this stunning picture of her wearing makeup, and she looks exactly like she did when she was 22.
She genuinely
so I think
does.
This was her saying, like, just because I don't do it doesn't mean that I can't. Like, I can steal all of your men out there. I can steal them.
I am feeling slightly bad, like I'm going to be judging a woman here, which I would be. But I feel like I always am. Oh my God, I'm horrible. I do think it's okay to wear a touch of makeup, right?
That dress
Met Gala outfit.
Yeah,
you can't throw like a touch of makeup on, like
base and mascara.
I understand that, because I think that obviously a lot of her situation is reactionary too, because for her entire career leading up to really now, she's mostly been looked at as a sexual object. And I think that this is freeing and beautiful and amazing because of her past. And so I'm not judging it. I want to realize that, like, I think she's an amazing woman. And I understand that because of what led her to this, I get where she's going. Like, I would probably do this too if all that people did was like jack off over pictures of me all the time.
But I like the statement of not even like saying anything and just being like, oh, by the way.
Exactly.
You can all shut up.
Hey guys, throw a comment down. Are you still here? Are you still watching? What do you think? What else do you think we're going to talk about? Literally, all I would do to her no makeup look would be fix her 90s brows. Give a little bit of... That tends to happen when you post naked. Wendy! Wendy's...
I took a really great naked picture the other day. I considered sending it to Jody. I looked so good in it. Then I didn't. Hey.
I definitely think that... Hey, AP. Sarah's still here. Disney
let's move on here. So, it's time for the movie corner. Wow.
Shit, Julie, the Heidi Montag wig. I forgot. Heidi Montag looked like a clown at the freaking AMAs. And you know what? Now that I know more about their situation, her and Spencer, they can go jump.
I like Spencer. But anyway, that's
no,
they're I really do like. Let's get into the movie corner though.
Technically, this isn't a movie, but this just dropped. Peewee as himself. It came out the 23rd. It's a 2-part doc. It's like almost 4 hours. I have not dove in yet, but ever since I was a child, Pee-wee Herman honestly was like the character that I think kind of molded somewhat the person that I am today. Like, my dream would be to live in Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like,
I never watched it when I was a kid, or I don't think I had the channel. Actually, I'm sure I didn't have the channel. Otherwise,
I watched it. I had a Pee-wee doll that you pulled a string and he would like say sayings. And the holiday special is, to this day, one of my favorite things.
They talk about the documentary is fascinating. They talk about so much stuff. Like he wanted to be in the circus. That's like the first, like he wanted to just be in
Makes sense.
And he was like one of the first out gay actors. So like, that's why all that shit happened. I mean, you're going to love it. But yeah, the holiday special, I wondered that when they were showing it, because he said not a single person turned it down. And he's like, Cher came in and did it. And she said she wanted to be uncredited because she wanted it to be like a nice surprise. But I was like, this seems like just a fucking rainbow of gay culture, this entire Christmas special, which I've never seen.
I think that honestly, justice for Peewee, justice for Paul Reubens in general, because my memory of this growing up was, one day they pop out his mugshot, which he looked kind of scary-ish in. He has long hair and he's like this. And they're like, Pee-wee Herman, pervert at whatever.
Yeah, what did you think the story was? Because I thought that he was at a theater, he turned around and whipped out his dick, and then somebody called the cops on him. That is not what happened.
See, I don't know that I knew what the story was. I just think that the idea was like that, and I think they did this too somewhat with George Michael, because he also had a similar thing where he was in a restroom cruising with a person who was trying to cruise with him. And then they came to be an undercover cop. Pee-wee Herman was at a adult movie theater, which I could drive 2 miles down the street and go to one myself. I've never been because I'm too scared.
I don't know. I still have those.
People sit there every day and jack off. So he got caught in a sting for that.
Operation. It wasn't even that. I always at least assumed that somebody complained about him, but it was a sting operation. But okay, I said this on Monday too, because I talked about this on Monday with Jody. But did you know about the second thing that happened? That that he got accused of like having child porn in his house. Did you know that? That when Jeffrey Jones got arrested for that, they threw in Paul Reubens with there because he's also an out gay actor. So he like had to like go to court and like fight because he had a porn collection in his house, but they were like trying to say that it was child porn, and then he never really came back from that either because he got lumped in with.
I don't know if we're talking about child Jeffrey porn. Is, great for getting the numbers up. Anyway, hey, they call it cruising. I don't know. I don't know why they call it cruising. Oh, what is cruising? Oh, cruising would be like if I went to a park or something and I like well, you could do it anywhere. You can walk around and you can like make eyes with a guy and you're like, you know, horny for them. And then you hook up with them like in a bathroom or somewhere. Or they just follow you home. What about the children cancel movement? I see. I agree. I just think in general, he deserves better. And now that especially that he's gone, he's getting a 4-hour documentary that goes into his genius. He really was a genius person in general. And if you go back and watch, they've released, maybe a couple of years ago, they released it on HBO Max. It was like the stage version of Pee-wee's Playhouse that originated kind of the show, the adult version with Phil Hartman and what's her name? The mother from Always Sunny. She plays.
Yeah, I don't know what her name is, but yeah, she's also in it. She was playing
Missy Vaughn is what her name is on Peewee, and that's really cool. I mean, he was so. I love his movies. I actually went and stayed in the caravan that was used in Big Top Peewee, because you can go stay in it at like one of those like retro trailer parks in Joshua Tree. So if you guys want to do that, go do it.
You're gonna love it. So when you come back next week, let me know if you liked it. But you also
can't wait.
A movie this week, right?
I did see a movie, Friendship. Okay, so this is, what's that guy's name?
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson, and he had a show called
I Think You Should Leave.
I Think You Should Leave. I like that humor. I think that humor's good. Like, it's not necessarily my like number one type.
He was actually on one season of SNL, but he like didn't make the cut. Like they just didn't,
really?
or maybe it was more than one season, but like he just did not fit in there. And I think it's such a huge flex to then move on to like have his own 2-season sketch show on Netflix.
And I understand how his vibe doesn't fit in with SNL either, because he's off the wall. Funny. Yeah, he's actually funny. You didn't see, Amanda tried to watch this, right?
Yeah, I downloaded it on a torrent, and the quality was like so bad. It was a camp, and the audience was laughing way too loud at stuff. And I was like, I don't like this audience that I'm watching it with, so I'll wait until I actually see it in theaters. If you think it's worth it.
My movie-going experience. One, I love Paul Rudd. Love him. Find him to be delicious. I could be living for him. So I loved the conceit that the idea here is that Tim Robinson is like a man who's very bland and plain. Like, I mean, he's a weirdo, obviously, because that's his vibe, but you know, he wears the same outfit constantly. He has a job in which he's trying to manipulate. He's using apps to manipulate people to become addicted to buying and using apps more. So like just a very insidious piece of shit kind of person. And he meets Austin, played by Paul Rudd, who just moved into his neighborhood and turns out to be like the weatherman for Channel 3. So Austin like is like this really cool guy. He invites him over to have a drink, and they, you know, he has a really cool looking house. He's like, hey, do you want to go on an adventure? And they go like climb through the sewer system and stuff. Yeah. And so like I liked it. I thought that I feel unfortunately like it went on too long, maybe. Because
isn't it less than 2 hours?
It was an hour 45.
Oh, wow. It's still too long, huh?
I thought they could have cut some out or added, because I think the story, it's like it ran out of steam or something maybe for me. And my experience there was, it was me and one other person. I was sitting in my typical seat, and then there was one man sitting in the very, very back row. Who was there before me. So I do get kind of creeped out when I go to the movie and that's the situation. Because when I walk in, it's kind of dark and I can only glance there to see the person long enough. But then I always constantly think that they're going to serial kill me. Like I think they're going to murder me during the movie. And like if I hear rustling, I'm like, oh, they're getting out their gun. They're getting out their knife to come. Anyway, whatever.
They're going to do the movie Friendship.
That man did not laugh one single time at this movie. And so I laughed like a few times. Like I was not like, oh
I saw the part, like I made it probably like 30 minutes in this part where like they're talking and Tim Robinson just starts like sinking, and he like has sunken in the mud by like 1 foot, and then he screams. He's like, oh my God, help me. And then Paul Rudd just like gives him his hand and he like steps right out of it. And he's like, oh God.
And then he's in that moment though too, he's also dropped his phone, and Tim Robinson's acting choice in any time he gets frustrated in the movie is to be like, fuck, my phone. And it's like, anyway, I think if you like him specifically, you'll probably really like it. I stayed to the end, but I definitely thought there were a few moments I considered leaving, because I just was like, do I care what happens at the end? And spoiler alert, the end, it was fine. I thought this movie was.
Do they not stay friends? Actually, no, don't tell me. Do you know that my dad didn't let me watch The Fox and the Hound? There was like two things ever I wasn't allowed to watch. One was Woody Woodpecker. I don't know why. And then Fox and the Hound, annoying. My dad didn't like, probably because it was like terrifying. My dad didn't like that at the end of the movie that they decide to not be friends, which I understand, but it's such a weird thing for my dad to care about, the anti-masker, to be like, oh, what's up? We should stay friends. He didn't like that. But my dad's like such a libertarian that I think that that's what he didn't like. He's like, well, they shouldn't just their social norms. They should be able to be friends and work it out if they want. Whatever, but I was never allowed to watch it. So then me and Brad watched The Fox and the Hound, both of us for the first time when we were married in our 20s. And it was so traumatizing. That scene where she takes the fox out and leaves it in the rain in the woods.
I can't think of a time I've watched it except maybe when I was 7 and there's a reason.
You don't want to rewatch it. It's got to be worse as an adult, I think.
Nope.
Wow, we were both traumatized. Okay, I'm not going to do my wormhole. It's Nathan Fielder, but I mean, I guess I
have a question. We did it was the finale of the rehearsal. So what was, spoiler alert, I want to know what was the lead up here? It was to him flying a plane?
It's hard to explain it because there's so many things. And this is what everyone's saying in the comments whenever anyone asks, like, what's it about? It's just watch it. It's only 6 episodes, half an hour each. And you need to.
Is it uncomfortable?
No, not this one.
Oh.
I mean, it has that awkward kind of comedy, but it's not like unbearable. Like
I watched that show that he did with Emma Stone.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I didn't like the idea of him doing scripted.
I couldn't make it through all of that because it was so uncomfortable to watch.
Okay, this I think you would watch and be, at least at the very end, you would at least be like, wow, this man is he's a genius. The way and the references, that's the thing, is you have to watch every episode to get because he'll put something in one episode and then you forget about it. And then at the end, the last 15 minutes, the way he ties it all up, you are sobbing.
Okay, please take a look at what's going on behind Amanda. I think she's running a breeding farm over here.
No,
Jesus, is that dog fixed?
They're all fixed, but the one is standing on top of the other one. They're not humping.
Y'all. Next week there will be puppies. Check back in for the dog fantasy happening over here. Let's lead into our last little section.
Yeah.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I gotta say, I mean, this is the number one thing that's infiltrated my freaking TikTok is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in the suburbs with a kid on the way that way. I don't even know the words. I hate this. I hate it. I hate this man. I hate this song.
Okay, so there's a whole controversy with this because people don't know if he was supposed to be if he was doing a parody or whatever, but I guess things were coming out on Reddit of no, I know this guy, he's the nicest guy in the world, and this was not meant to be a parody in any way, which is so sad. I don't care if you're
nice. I think take a breath, babe. Just all he needed to do in this performance was take one big breath and just go from there, because he just was stressing me out.
It's the tippy toes too. It's the ick factor of the tippy toes.
He's in stripy socks, standing on his tiptoes on the floor in the what I'm assuming is he walked off the stage to go sing the acoustic, version, which I've been to concerts where one of them being Patti Lupone, where at the end she sings a song just a cappella, by herself at the edge of the stage. I feel like he was trying
Patti Lupone concerts.
He was trying to do that. So have I. I think I've seen her 3 times. Unfortunately, whatever.
Thinking, yeah.
Yes. I feel like that's the vibe he was trying to do. Is I'm with the people, and they're all holding their phones. Anyway, guys, I have now seen 50,000 memes.
And the song doesn't leave my head. The song does not leave my head. But the guy, we were talking about this before we pressed record, but the guy that sings the "We Are Young."
I thought this was him at first.
Right. So that guy who is full parody, I think he might be Canadian.
Kyle Gordon, I think is.
Yeah, Kyle Gordon. I used to follow him before that came out because he does other funny parody stuff. But he did a little duet with him on TikTok, and we both agreed that was very kind of him to do. It was really throwing him a bone.
Ultimately, this guy will get traction off of this.
Yeah, what he chooses to do with that, I guess, is up for debate.
This is exactly what I think. I think I'm becoming old and bitter because it's how many times do we need to make this song? How many more times does this song that is made by this man need to be made? Oh, like, oh, you know, this is what my life will be, and I'm a white straight man in this. Like, great. Like, how many more? We have Bruce Springsteen already.
Let's talk about people with talent here, because this is my other big trending thing, and it's this. 16 bars of an ensemble section is the song King of New York from Newsies?
It's in Newsies.
I think it's from the song King of New York. It sounds like the chorus.
Well, it is, because it's like, ba, 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 I'm the King of New York. Yeah, it leads, right. This leads into that.
Right. So each ensemble member, it's like the one-line-itis for the ensemble where you get your one line, and this is my time to shine. And so like the trend is, this is the original video, because this kid is like now older and like he's like embracing this. But the first person sings their part like, and then the second person goes, and then this kid's like, a barbershop haircut costs a fortune, and he's like tapping his little buns off. And it just became a trend that now all these little theater companies are just reenacting it, and it's hilarious every time.
Because they're pointing out certain things. Like the one thing they point out is like no clapping. And then this guy starts singing for, I don't know, half a second. And the audience is like, woo!
Yeah.
And then the person after him is like quieter than anything else. It's like, it's like, really? This was badly directed, in my opinion. You wouldn't put this kid, the third in four solo lineup.
I don't have the last line, which has like a kind of a high note on it, but whatever.
That's what I don't understand. You make him the first or the last. This isn't.
Or give him the whole line, or give him a lead. But then as we said the other day, he's not like a sexy kid. So God,
I said unfortunate, and this is coming from a person who is of size. How about that? And what has been always. I was like, well. You know, he's not going to be a lead.
This is both of us.
I played a lead one time in a show. One time. And I was playing an elephant. Take that for what you will. All right.
Lastly, are you following this Disney shit? Because like I'm seeing this everywhere, that like this new Little Mermaid shit looks so janky and busted. I don't think her feet are in there. I think she stands and walks around. And
this
is that right?
Is a puppet. It's the bottom part is a puppet.
Okay,
and then is a puppet.
She's the only live person in the show, which the anxiety I would have if I was the only human in a show, and then you're just playing with projections the entire show. Awful. And
I love Disney to the core. I think that unfortunately they're taking way too many sidesteps, because they introduced this. This is a reimagining of a show that they were already doing with a bunch of puppets. They used to have full-on puppets,
which is so much more fun. But then they have to pay all the puppeteers.
Now
my friend was in the Finding Nemo one.
Now it's just backgrounds. First of all, also her wig and outfit in this are just so bad.
It just looks really well. Continue.
They also though introduced another show like literally this week that is a villains. It's called like Villains Happily Ever After, something like that. And really a lot of people in the comments are like, oh, it's like Six, but with the Disney villains, because it's like Cruella DeVille comes out and does a song and introduces herself. And then like Captain Hook does a song, and then one other villain. I think it's Maleficent. That show only has 3 total people in the entire thing too. The people who play each of those characters. They come out and it's just screens behind them doing shit. And just them by themselves.
They're literally getting rid of all the magic. It's so dumb.
You're telling me you can't afford to pay more than 3 performers? Like like literally when I did children's theater, okay, theater for young audiences, we had more than 3 performers in a show. They could afford to pay more than 3 people. And Disney can't pay more than 3 performers in a show.
And Disney already famously pays minimum wage for their performers at
exactly. Like these people aren't making bank off of this, and you have a girl leading an entire production all by herself. What the hell?
She's probably making 20 an hour. And then there's this Elsa costume that I saw. That there was just this girl. I went in to write this, but it had already been written 100 times, and it was, yes, girl, give us nothing, because she's just lip syncing. But look at this costume. Look at this shot. It's like, again, like Come on, Disney. You are Disney. What is going on with these costumes?
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I think that unfortunately a product of capitalism is that when you know you're going to make money off of it anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If people aren't looking at that and being like, oh my God, cancel my yearly membership. They're like, no, what's the newest item that I can go there and buy? Guys, down with capitalism, eat the rich, tax the billionaires, the end of story.
Yeah, we're kind of ending on a low note here because John didn't bring any butts today.
That's a high note.
Well, yeah, down with capitalism.
I don't have any because I've been just genuinely busy to the point where I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about on this because I've been only focused on work.
Do you want to look at this picture again really quickly of Catelynn Baltierra?
I hate it!
In her camel toe pants. It's so bad.
What is
guys, thanks for joining us. You guys were so fun today. I didn't go completely crazy. All the dogs are fully asleep now, though, at least over there. So great.
Guys, let us know right now in the comments. Will you be here on Friday, same time?
Join us.
It is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will change that. We love you guys so much.
Yeah, have a wonderful week. We'll see you Friday. That's it. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hit like. Hit subscribe.
Copy and share.
Copy. Share. Copy link.